Okay, so we are live right here in Nigeria. Over the past 2 days, I've had conversations with people from Malawi and no Zambia and Kenya. So, but today I'm hosting my very own blood sister. Let's say like that, Nigeria. All right. So today I am hosting my very beautiful friend Nedna is here with me, and we are going to be looking at how social media can be used to build a business, basically. So, but the conversation is around building businesses, communities, and nations via social media. But we will be dwelling so much on how social media can be used to build a business. Okay, so I had someone who came to my office yesterday, and I met her where I went to do a training on how to use social media to sell real estate. And she told me, by being in my office yesterday, she told me that she was there just for 5 months, and now the lady is running her own business. She's selling shoes, and she doesn't sell single. She sells in batches. So if you want to buy shoes from her, you have to buy from 12 and above, 12 pairs of a particular shoe and above. So she sells to individuals who resell. And she told me that she started her business from her room. All right, with 15,000 naira, she started the business from her room. And then what she used to do was she was following women who were selling shoes. So she gets into their WhatsApp groups, she goes into their Facebook groups, and whatever it is that they were doing, she was just replicating. And that was how she's gone from her room to now she has outlets, and she has 3 outlets now, even in Lagos. So she travels to Lagos just 4 times a year. She has set up her system. She has in Port Harcourt. She has in another state. I can't remember the state now. But very young girl, sat before me yesterday, and she said to me that majority of what she did when she was starting out was using social media. She ran ads. She kept on putting on her social media, her WhatsApp status, and people were buying. People who didn't even know who she was. And I believe that that's the same thing that Nana has been doing in her business, and she still does the same thing in her business, and she's really grown. I mean, following you, I've seen how you've grown the Obidia brand, and now the 2K shop, which is the rave of the moment. I mean, I don't know how. Sometimes I'm like, I want to ask you, what's your secret behind 2K? Like, I see things and I'm like, 2K, how can this be? I mean, how can this be 2K? And I know that that's the same thing that individuals keep asking. How can this girl be selling this thing for 2K? Is it not selling fake? I mean, in a nation where we know that, I mean, to buy food, sell for 2,000 naira, more that I eat here is about 550 naira. Now with 1,000, I can't even buy two more anymore, right? I mean, two. So when you say you're doing things for 2K, I'm like, where this girl, where is she even manufacturing what she's selling and all that? I know that's what is in the mind of a lot of people, but I know that you're not going to tell us your secret basically, because that's your trade secret and you know how you do those things, right? But we want to have this conversation how social media has helped you so far in building your business. So, guys, if you are here, you're joining us right now, let's know where you are joining us from. I can see Emeka Christian joining from Owerri. I can see Zara Ojako from Owerri too. And I can see Kenny. I don't know where Kenny is tuning in from. So, but if you're here, let's see you in the comment section. Drop your name. Let us know the city you're tuning in from. And I will kick off the conversation today with Nenna telling us about herself, what she has done as we begin to go into this conversation. So, Nenna, please, by all means, tell us about your beautiful self. I know, anyway, I'm going to ask you that question as we move on. All right. Okay, so go ahead.
Hi,
Your beautiful
thank you
self.
so much, sir. Thank
Go into
you.
the
Thank you
conversation.
for having me. So
Yeah.
much of a pleasure. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Nenna, and I am based in Lagos, Nigeria. And basically, a straightforward person, open, and I'm a fashion accessory entrepreneur. And I'm saying a fashion accessory entrepreneur because I've actually tried to do, let's say, some things like furniture, and I've tried to do things like edible foods, and it just hasn't clicked. So for now, I'll just say I'm a fashion accessory entrepreneur. And what do I do? Basically, I retail, design and retail fashion accessories for men, women, children, and I have a parent company I founded when I was 23, and that's Nanny's Real Company. And after some time, I actually stopped doing business until I we started again in 2018, and that was when we launched the Obidia brand. So the Obidia brand is basically strictly handmade fashion accessories with coral beads, gold, stones that are mined in Nigeria, just for women. Okay, and then it's more exclusive compared to the 2K shop. So the 2K shop, it's also a fashion accessory outlet or a brand that retails only. We don't design, we don't manufacture. All we do is just retail in wholesale and single unit to a fashion accessory like sunglasses like this one I have on, this wristwatch that I have on, this Ankara dress that I have on, this necklace that I have on, the earrings that I have on. For men, women, children, we have bags, we have shoes, that the most expensive you find in the Turkey shop is 2,950 naira. So you're actually buying things for 2,950 naira and below. Okay. And we have so many exclusive items. Like currently, even while I'm still here, we're having a WhatsApp sales strictly, where people were just retailing at this point, and to blue light glasses, and there's so much response, and then other people also buying other things for those that are new. Then we have a new baby project that is strictly luxury. It's a no brand. I think some people who know me already know and call me No. So the No brand is already trademarked, but we haven't started operations fully yet. But it's going to be strictly luxury. Okay, so and this is just basically me. I'm an open book. Who I am on social media is actually who I am in real life. So I think I'm just an easy going person, I guess. I think I'm easy going. I don't like stress. Okay, so and I enjoy working. I really do. I enjoy the tackles and the stiffness of business. I enjoy it a lot because it helps me, you know, express myself. I know I have to do a lot of mental work. I enjoy doing mental work for my business. I enjoy doing research. I enjoy trying out new things. I enjoy seeing results. I enjoy making mistakes. So this is just me. I just enjoy doing what I do. I enjoy selling. I enjoy closing deals. I enjoy generating leads. And funny enough, or the best thing or the good thing is most of these things are from social media. Actually, more than 95% of everything that I've done or have with my business is from social media. Like in my store, we do not even have a signpost outside. So every traffic that comes to the store, every sale that we make, they all come from social media. Okay, so and um, I remember the first time I started business, that was in 2013. The very first sale I made when I didn't have a store, when I didn't even know what I wanted to do, but I just did it because I just finished learning how to make jewelry. So I just posted of social media, and I didn't even have any money. I just the only thing I did was when I just used NYS, so the money that NYS paid me was what I used in getting a BlackBerry phone as at that time. Yeah, I got a BlackBerry phone, and then I just came up with the name, Lenny's Bill Company, and then I put out a picture of a beach. It wasn't even my picture, I just put it out. And then I remember I was actually very sick, and then a customer just reached out to me from Enugu, and then she asked for the price of the item. I told her 40,000 there. And she just paid immediately. I can remember very well. The sickness just jumped out of me, and I just knew I had started something, and it's been like that. I did that up until 2015 when I now stopped. I just blanked out the work and business, and then I came back again in 2018. So by 2018, when I came back and started the Obidia brand, it was still social media that I used in reviving that. But the good thing is that even while I wasn't working, I was going through a personal dark time at that time. So, but what I was doing was I kept showing up on social media, in talking about other things, not business, of course. I was just talking about other things. So that way, I was already building trust. I was already building trust with some of my followers at that time, and so a lot of people followed me and they were interested in me and what I was doing. Because they already know that I was doing business before, but I stopped. So they still stayed with me. So when I launched the Obidia brand, it was easy. It was kind of easy. In fact, the Obidia brand, I didn't even know it was going to be a brand name. It was just a name. I just felt, oh, when I get married, that's the name my husband was born because I heard it in the song. So I posted it. It was a friend from social media that called me and said, trademark that name and start using it to trade. And that was it. And that was just so everything, every breakthrough by grace of God, and every even kind of some very serious business decisions that I've had to take, they've all come from social media. So I think this just explains it. It just explains it so far. So yeah, that's basically it.
Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. I like that. Thank you so much, Nina. I want to ask this question. Hey guys, as you are here right now, I can see people who have joined in. Oh, I see Ruth Lobret from Germany. I've never seen this person before. She's watching from LinkedIn. I can see Sidion Koka from Port Harcourt. I can see Obiageli Mochuku from Lagos. I see Ella watching from Cross River. I see Annie Fred crossing Ozoba in River State. Then I see Francisca Ogunlade from Ondo State watching from LinkedIn. So we are on live on LinkedIn and Facebook and YouTube at the same time. And I'm grateful that we're having this conversation. Okay, so boss, so if you're joining us right now, please go ahead and share this live stream. Share. There's a share button beneath. Just share it, and people can join us to have this conversation. Very rewarding conversation that we're going to be having today. Okay, so then I want to ask you this: people who are on social media, who are running businesses on social media, is there a way they ought to be using social media that is different from other individuals? Individuals come on social media from different. Some have jobs. What they have jobs that pay them money, and they come on social media to be, throwing banters and jokes. I have a friend of mine. He has a very good, well-paying job, and so when it comes to social media, I mean, during this election period, the guy was all about banters. I mean, pressing people's necks and doing all sorts of stuff, you know. And if you are in business and you think you want to follow that path, will it be detrimental or not? So for those individuals who are on social media and they are there for business to do their businesses, is there a way they ought to position that should help their businesses? Using yourself as an example, because I know sometimes you catch crews, sometimes you also post about your personal stuff, you also do stuff. I mean, throughout this election phase, I saw you campaigning vigorously for your particular political candidate. So, for those individuals who are on social media, doing their business on social media, using business social media to build their business, is there a particular way they ought to position? What are things that they have to do to leverage on social media for great profits?
Okay, yeah, that's a very good question. And like you said, I'm just going to use myself as an example. I feel like, first of all, you don't have to be unruly, you don't have to be on hot, you don't have to be raz if you're building a business. Now, I'll first of all state this, that there are two kinds of business people on social media. You have those who are hustling, and you have those who are actually building something. Okay, so for those that are hustling, you just see them doing anyhow, and it kind of irritates me. But I think I've come to understand that we're all not the same. We're actually not all going to the same place. Okay, so for people who are hustling, and those are the people who you see on social media just being so raw, so unruly. You see them dragging in an unruly way. There's some groups that I am in on Facebook, and you see business people who believe that clout and bad publicity will result in money. Now, if you're building a sustainable business that you know that wants to outlive you and actually make impact, you shouldn't go that route. I do not subscribe to it. It is not my way of life as a person. It doesn't align with my behavioral values and patterns. So I will not advise that if you are actually building something you want to outlive you, something you want that will stand the test of time, something that will impact on lives, and nations, and also, project your country as a very worthy country. You shouldn't go that route, okay? I'm not a believer of bad publicity is any publicity is publicity. No, 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 no. I believe we should be accountable. You should take responsibility for your actions. You should be well mannered. You should comport yourself. And the process of actually doing that, try as much as possible not to mislead your audience. Now, there are two things I'll say. So for those that are hustling, hustlers are people who anything they just do, permit my grammar, but anything they just do. If today they see somebody selling rice, you see them selling rice, tomorrow you see them selling beans, somebody selling bread. Their own goal is just to make money, irrespective of, they can just do anything. That's not me. So you see some of those people in that class who we see them every day on social media. I don't know if you have, but I have. And then you see a customer complains to them, and then you hear things like, they start insulting the customers, they start being unruly to customers, but to them they don't care because they feel like as they're being called out, as they're being called out for incompetence, it's going to give them visibility, and then it's also going to give them money. Okay, I don't go that route. I do not subscribe to it, and I do not advise it because a good name, no matter what, and integrity is very, very important. So you do know if you're building something that you want to go global, you shouldn't go that route because after some time, all those things and all those actions are actually going to come into play in future, which may cost you so many things. So no, I don't go that route. Now, if you're actually building a sustainable business, now there are two kinds of people that I've actually now come to understand on social media. It is not enough for you to have a very nice profile picture, and all that. No, 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 no. It's not enough. That doesn't even some to have building a sustainable business. But this is how I believe that you should behave. You should be accountable, you should be responsible, you should be as transparent as possible, and at all times maintain decorum. Okay, yes, once in a while you loosen up, you play. I'm not the kind of person who likes to be confined in a space, so I like to be free. But even in my freedom, my values put me in check. Even in my freedom, my values put me in check. Okay, so that way, even and then I have people who will also call me to order in case I post things or say things that are not, in line with maybe my brand and the way people now perceive it, and also the way that my values for people that know me. Okay, so I feel like if you're building a sustainable business, a global brand, and a profitable one, you should number one maintain decorum in your speeches. Even if you have to call someone out, it has to be intelligently and objectively. You give your reasons. For instance, in this time of this, you can see how hot the nation is. There's anger. There are people that have had to call out. The people that have had to call out, and in doing that, I didn't just come out and say, "Oh, you're just a mad person." No, 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 no. If I have to even unfriend someone now, I'll give my reasons for offending you, not because you insulted me. You didn't insult me, but I just realized that your values and mine do not align. And I find it very distasteful when, for instance, a business person, is supporting something that doesn't just align with what I've perceived or imagined your business to be based on what you portrayed to me. Okay, so these are two things. So if you're building a sustainable brand and a sustainable business, just ensure that you maintain decorum, you're transparent, and you maintain integrity. This is the way you behave in your speech, in your conduct. Even when you want to play and catch crews on social media, it has to be in a way that is within your people, because people already have this particular image of you. So whatever you're doing, your cruise catching, your fun, whatever should be within those same values, so you don't derail. Okay, so I think these are basically what I have to say for those who are building, hustlers and business builders. That's just what I have to say.
Fantastic. Okay, so thank you for this, your words and your what you've shared with us. That brings me, because you mentioned a bit of it, that brings me to this question. During this period of campaign, we noticed that most of the billionaires, the billionaires that we know, the Dangotes, the Tony Lumelus, if you notice that they were not, they would say something like, vote, vote your conscience, vote your political leader, vote whoever you love, vote with your conscience. But they were not aligning with any candidate, right? You would have not seen somebody like Dangote, say something about his own candidate. I've not seen something like Tony Elumelu say something. And all the billionaires that we know, even the multi-millionaires. And you found somebody like Bukubana, for example, even though he was supporting his brother to become a member of the House of Rep under the ABGA political party. But you find out that he never mentioned one particular individual for him, in alignment. And also some other multi-millionaires that we know, all right? For those of us who run businesses, what can you say with regards to those kinds of positioning? Like, I don't want to talk about any political candidate. If I talk about anybody, maybe it's going to affect my business. Maybe my business will be shut down, or maybe if somebody comes into power, they're going to do this and do all that. You get what I mean? For me, I went all out for my own political candidate, and I didn't really bother about that. But there are individuals who are scared and saying, I don't want to combine business and politics. From your own standpoint, what can you share about that? Because you were all
Yeah.
out for
So
your own candidate, and I don't know if
yeah.
it affected your business in one way or the other. Being the fact that you're even living in Lagos, that is supposedly a bastion of someone's stronghold, which we all know. So let's share with us based on that standpoint.
Yeah, so this case is a very sensitive case to me because I'll first of all start with the billionaires that you mentioned. Or let me first of all start that 2 days ago I did a research and actually asked, is it proper for CEOs and business owners, to get involved in active politics, not like running politics, but speak on political matters, speak on policy making, speak on elections and co. And it's a 50-50 thing, okay, like you said. But there is actually no high percentage that when you're vocal about a particular thing or a particular person, a particular political group, that is going to affect your business. I'm just going to say this. Now, then coming back to this, when you said the billionaires, you mentioned Dangote, you mentioned Tele Melu and co and co. Now, we also have billionaires that are major stockholders in Nigeria, people like Bishop David Edepo, Colin Enche, I think even Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, and just so many of them, Chimamanda and co. And during this election time, I think one of the things that really pissed me off was, or still remains, that, for instance, I come on social media and I'm talking about building a business, how you have to position yourself, how you have to take your business serious, and how you have to be profitable, blah, 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 blah. And I have 11,000 followers. Okay. It might be small, but I know the kind of circle that I have, and I know the kind of people who reach out to me. Even as of yesterday, customers were still calling me. Some of them were crying, and I had to, just give them words of hope in this time. It's not even business, but these are people who have my personal number and they're already calling me. Some will send me a message, and how they're down, and I have to encourage. Now, Tony Elumelu, even though he didn't have, even though he did not have a particular candidate, as in, he wasn't vocal about a particular candidate, a particular political party. What he did, which I still commend him for, and I have screenshots of that, is that he said, go out and vote. And he posted a picture of him in 2019 actually exercising his civic rights and responsibility. Any business owner, and irrespective of how much you have, and the least that I expect of you to do is to show civic responsibility, which includes voting. It is very, 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 very important that business owners take full responsibility, show that responsibility, to their audience. So the least you can do is say, go get your PVC. For those of us in Nigeria, go get your PVC, exercise your right, go and vote. You do not have to come out and say, vote for this person, vote for this person. You can only just outline, you don't even have to say the person, but you can outline the characteristics of that person. I say, vote for competence, vote for character, vote for integrity, vote for transparency. Just but make sure you vote, because your vote is your right, and there are consequences for voting, and there are consequences for not voting. There are also consequences for voting right, and there are consequences for not voting right. Now, so I think that's one of the things that really annoyed me. Yeah, I was really, really livid this time for some business owners that I say I respect because of what they have shown me on social media. Because they have this very nice profile picture, they have nice offices, and they're speaking grammars and telling us how they have this here, how they have that here, how they're doing this, how they're doing that. The least that I expected was you saying go out and vote. When it's business owner who, I don't even think they even have anything to lose. I mean, Tony Eloi has a lot to lose. Bishop David has a lot to lose. Dangote has a lot to lose. Paul and Encha have a lot. They all have a lot to lose. But you that is still, probably you just got into the compound of billionaires. You haven't even started climbing. The least, you can't even say go and vote or go get your PVC. You just remain silent. I hate silence in times like this. Governance, politics, policy making, decision making, and all of this, I just come with politics. It's a very sensitive issue to me. And it kind of triggers me when I expect people who have shown that they have that power and influence. So when they are quiet, it annoys me. I want to know, why are you quiet? Why are you quiet? Are you quiet because you are scared of losing your friends that you just gave? And to me, that's being a coward. Because, I mean, connection is connection. People go, people come. But if you're being quiet because you do not want to lose your source of income, then you're not a patriotic citizen and you're actually a deceiver. You must learn to take a stand as a business person. It's not compulsory, and I remain that it is not compulsory that you come out and openly support a political party or a particular person. But the least that is required of you, that shows that you're responsible in terms of your civic rights and in nation building, is that you openly say to your audience, go out and vote. Get your document for voting, which is a PVC for those of us that are in Nigeria, and then go out and vote. You do not have that. I read something yesterday on social media, and they were dragging someone, and then the person asked, the person who was being dragged said, so is it my voice that will make the person win? That was such an insensitive thing to say. Because you have at least 100,000 followers, which you grew organically on Facebook. Now you're being interrogated. Why did you keep quiet during this time? And then you come out and say you were active on Instagram and on Twitter. Make it make sense to me that you grew organically on Facebook. You make your money from your influence on Facebook, but during elections in a very sensitive country and dynamic and complex country like ours in Nigeria, you now run to Twitter and then you start pushing them. Who knows you on Twitter? Nobody. Nobody knows you on Twitter. So who are you influencing them? Nobody, because It's even possible you make a tweet and you will not even get one retweet or even one response or even one like. But where you have your influence on Facebook, and I need people to be very, 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 very particular. If I grow on Facebook, and I have that major audience on Facebook, I owe it to my audience to at least show them the essence and the importance and the benefits and the consequences if they did not exercise their civic right. It shows that I am interested in nation building. It shows that I am interested in policy making. It shows that I am a responsible business person. This particular character that I've seen lacking now in some people that made me actually myself I've like unfollowed many of them. It's a character flaw that doesn't align with me. It doesn't align with my person, it doesn't align with my business. We would not be ignorant of the devices of evil, which say that evil communication corrupts good manners. I'm not going to be blind and I'm not going to say because of me, I will now deny 11,000 people following me the truth. No, it doesn't, it's just not me. And this is me just using myself as an example. So, what do I say to business owners? Irrespective of your social status, wherever you are, if you're not as expressive as me, who is not, I'm actually not scared of losing anything. I mean, I've been very down and I've grown. So I think that is why I support whosoever I'm supporting politically. Because even when he moved to a new party, a virgin party, and people are like, how are you going to go? I have grown a business from ground zero to millions, and I'm not scared of building. I'm not scared of falling and rising. In fact, it interests me a lot. I'm not scared of it. I'm not scared of it. So when I see, or so far, when I see business owners who now have a little bit of influence, who can at least influence 0.01% of the population, keeping quiet. I don't know if I'm being hard, but I think they should be jailed. I think they should be jailed for silence. It shows civic irresponsibility, and it shows it's a character flaw that I begin to imagine what kind of business are you actually running or building. You know, if you have to consider just yourself and sacrificing hundreds of thousands of your followers. No, it doesn't just sit right with me. So as a business owner, if you're not going to be as vocal as me and fearless as me, the least you can do when it comes to things like politics is sensitize your audience, even if you have 1,000 followers, even if you have 100 followers. Out of that 100, you can influence one person that will go out there and make a change. So all you just need to do is say, go out, get your PVC by all means, and go out and vote. That is the least any business person can do. Now, if you want to now push it further, by supporting a particular candidate based on your convictions and your values, then you should also be ready for the consequences and you should be ready for the profit. Personally, I have not experienced any form of loss. I have not. I have not experienced any form of loss in being vocal about whosoever I'm supporting. I'm not being because if in fact between Saturday and as of yesterday, our customer base has increased by over 100%. So I'm actually not scared to lose, but even as I'm not scared to lose, the wins have just been coming. So I think that's just my stand when it comes to things like this as a business person.
Wow, thank you so much. I'm quite relieved with you sharing these nuggets. Thank you so much, Nena. All right, so guys, if you are joining right now, if you've got questions for Nena, please start dropping your questions. We have done 34 minutes so far. So far, so good. If you've got questions, I can see a whole lot more individuals who have joined us. I can see Godina Chi from Abakaliki. Yeah,
That's
Miss
Market
Oliver
everybody. Good afternoon.
joined Enugu. Welcome, everyone. I see Benita also from Enugu. All right, so if you've got questions, please drop your questions and she will answer. So I want to go to this next question. I remember many years ago, I think 2 or 3 years ago, and then I remember used to when it has to do with your accessories and fashion accessories, and you used to be very prim and proper. You didn't want to make people feel bad about and then we had a conversation. Remember, we had a conversation, and I asked you a particular question, and I asked you if what you were selling was for every kind of woman or for cosmopolitan women. And then you answered me and you said, and I said, okay, these individuals are trying to reach out to, how do they like to present themselves? How do they like to dress and all that? And so I've seen you have transformed, so to say. I mean, I was looking at a picture of yours today. I don't know whether you were at a concert or something like that. And I'm like, man, you get what I mean? There are individuals who really want to go all out there and represent what they sell, but they are scared of what people will say. How people will view them. Some individual, oh, maybe you have backslid, or you're no longer a Christian, or you're now Raz and all that kind of stuff. But I've seen that you've come full circle. You have become bold, to do those expressions. What can you share with individuals? All right, not necessarily about dressing, or but if people are not bold enough to talk about what they do, about their businesses using social media, what kind of advice, using your own personal experience, that you can share with us?
Okay, so using myself as an example, like you rightly said, I used to be very conservative, and that was basically because of religion, and it kind of held me bound. But the truth is, actually, before I got into religion, I used to be very free and expressive, but then religion kind of curtailed me, and that lasted for like 5 years. Okay, up until like 2020, like exactly 2 years around this time, So and then I just like losing them. What I got to understand so far, I'm going to speak on two directions. I'm going to speak as a religious person. I'm going to speak as a religious person, and I'm actually now going to speak as a neutral person. So let me start with religion first, because that was what I had to deal with first. Now, for religion kind of confines you, but I need people to understand that whatever you believe in, if you believe in Jesus, you believe in Allah, you believe in, it doesn't stop you from being who you have been ordained to be. It doesn't stop you from being as expressive as you ought to be, especially in business, and especially for those who are actors, actresses, and into fashion, things like that, models. There used to be this very wonderful director and producer in the 90s, giving us hits back to back that started Nollywood. All his movies are being recreated now. They can't even match up to what he created, even with the level of technology that they have. But somehow, this director and producer gets entangled with religion and stops producing. That talent and that gift is wasted. God doesn't, equip us with gifts and talent so that we can now hide it. And I'm going to say this, and I don't know how a lot of people are going to take it, but that you're a born again Christian doesn't mean you're supposed to sing gospel songs. I'm going to use Timida Kolo as a clear example. Timida Kolo is a believer. He believes in Jesus Christ. He believes in the grace of God. He's vocal about it. But if you listen to his music, he doesn't even sing gospel songs. Oh, Jesus, I love you, this and that. No. He sings, he's someone who has truly been loved by God and has received that love that can sing a love song. Because the world needs love. Okay? It's just like, what's the name of this Elvis Presley, who sang, and I can't help falling in love with you. Elvis Presley was a Christian. He sang, you should listen to his songs. He sang those songs in the 70s. I enjoy his music. I enjoy his voice, I enjoy his rhythm, I enjoy the lyrics of the song. Now he also sang a gospel song. What's that song? He sang, why can't I suddenly remember that song? I think before the end of this session, I'm going to look for it, and it's coming to me, but I can't say it. Elvis Presley. Maybe someone can Google it for us. Elvis Presley gospel song. And he sang that song. We still sing it till today. So that you are a Christian and a born again Christian does not mean that you're supposed to sing gospel song. Jesus, I love you. Jesus, I love you. Also note that not everyone who sings gospel songs are actually believers. And that's why we've seen so many of them derailing, and then we begin to blame that, that they can sing gospel song does not mean that they believe or that they are Christians. Okay. Now, likewise, Christians and believers, the Bible says that we are the light of the world, the salt of the world, and all that. So we should shine bright. It is we who will sing love songs. It is we who will make dresses. It is we who will do photo shoots that will show the world that we are the best at what we do, and that we have the answers. There's a picture of me. This is my portrait behind me. I think you used this in teaching them last year on shameless marketing. This is me. Do you know that when I posted this picture, and then some people just came at me, oh my god, you have derailed, you have done this, and I'm like, how did I derail? Did you actually see me smoking? I'm not smoking. I only just paused, and this picture just happened in the moment. I had finished dressing up for this photo shoot, this particular look, but I just felt there was something that was missing to just make it more firm and more captivating and more, that just translates that, oh, this lady is a confident woman, she has no shame, and yet she's putting on something that she doesn't have to spend so much on. And then I just told the photographer, we need a secret. Don't light it, but we just need a secret. In fact, I was even saying at some point, if I had known that I'd have lit it so that the smoke from the cigarette will kind of also add some effect to the picture. Now, some people see this and they say, because you're a Christian, you shouldn't be doing that. What shouldn't I do? Why should you confine me and not allow me to express what God has put inside of me to show the world? I see it as an abuse, and I see it as a sin to not be able to express the potential and everything that God has put inside of you. You're depriving the world from seeing the beauty and the manifold sides of God. God is a creative, God is fashionable, God likes reading, God likes to act. So why do you think that because somebody has a talent of acting, that they have to now act only Christian movies? While even though yes, we have the word guiding us, there are things that we cannot still do, but there are things that like how do I explain it? There are things that are just acceptable. We don't have to go the extra mile, and I won't say because you have the because you can act that you should now go and act pornography. No, that's wrong. That doesn't go with our values as Christians. But you can act, you can be anything that you want to be. Someone like Mercy Johnson, who can act as an old woman, who can act like a thief, who can act like a Christian, who can act, that is her talent, and that is the many sides of her. It would be wrong to confine her to just acting a particular type because you feel like she's a Christian and she shouldn't be. So I feel people who are religious should learn to loosen up and relax. Yes, we have the word guiding us, but relax and be everything that God has ordained you to be. If you are photogenic, you do not have to be ashamed of taking very nice pictures because you're religious. No, that is you not maximizing. In fact, that is an abuse of the gift and talent that you have been blessed with. The world wants to see beautiful pictures, they want to see decent pictures, they want to see very nice pictures. So you come out there, you're photogenic, you have long legs, you have nice fingers, you have dimples, nice dentition, go out there, you have nice hair, go out there and be. Take out shame. You always preach about shameless marketing. Take out shame. Take out shame. What people only do is talk. I People will think maybe I've lost followers and I've lost. It was only one person who unfriended me, in fact actually blocked me because for him he just thought, oh, I'm no longer a Christian or you've backslided, blah 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 blah. I mean, I haven't backslided anyway. Now, this for people that are religious. Now, for people who are neutral, you do not have to be ashamed. It is not wise. It is foolishness. That's what Bishop David will say. It is foolishness to be shameful of what is gainful. It is foolishness to be shameful of what is gainful. This is your source of income. This is where you have your strength. You need to come out. And that's the good thing about social media. For me, I've used social media to loosen up. I used to be a very rigid person, very conservative person. I just like my space. But doing business on social media has helped me loosen up, to be more expressive, to be more expressive. And I express myself in my business, I express myself with pictures, express myself in writing. So that's what social media has helped me to do. And people who are ashamed, I think that this just sums it up. Do not be, it is foolishness to be shameful of what is gainful. This will give you gain. Do not be ashamed of it. People will talk, but for how long will they talk? They will talk, yes, but they will start clapping you when they start seeing your results. Okay, so I think this just sums it up for me. So your take home should be, it is foolishness to be shameful of what is gainful. Basically.
It's foolishness to be shameful of what is gainful. Thank you so much for that line. That line is what's what punchy is foolishness to be ashamed, to be shameful of what is gainful. Man, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, guys. So I'm going to ask you this last question. We have done 47 minutes. I think we should be off in the next 13 minutes because you're a businesswoman. We don't need to spend so much time here today. So, what role do you think, or two questions? I think this is I'll ask two questions as we wrap up. What role do you think social media is is playing with regards to building communities, right? In terms of church, in terms of mosque, in terms of the social fabrics of fabric of our existence, in terms of our culture. What role do you think social media played a good role with regards to building our culture, building our communities, churches, mosques, relationships, human relationships and interactions in general. What can you say about that?
Yeah, like using myself for example, like I also said earlier, that social media has helped me relax, be more accessible and more expressive. So in terms of building communities, you need to first of all understand that even in real life, we have bad and good. So on social media, they also have bad and good. And that is why I'm always particular and I constantly tell people, be yourself. Whosoever you are in real life, be that same person on social media. So you see some people who are toxic on social media, but you will not hear that they're actually very nice in real life. I can't believe that. Because first of all, you're two-faced and you're deceiving me. I'd rather someone who is toxic in real life still comes on Facebook and is toxic. So when I meet the two personalities or marry two personalities, I meet someone in real life, they're toxic, then on social media they're toxic. I can marry and say, okay, you know what? This person is a toxic person. Now, for someone who comes on social media and is toxic and then not toxic in real life. First thing, people need to know that social media is also like the new real life. Okay, social media is the new real life, and we've seen people who have lost jobs because of things that they posted on social media. We've also seen people who have gained jobs because of things that they posted on social media. So social media to me is a very powerful tool in building communities, be it religious communities, be it business communities, be it health communities. There's so many communities that you can think of in real life that are actually on social media. So social media to me is the new real life, and I believe that people should be as much as possible themselves and be open to improvement. So if for instance a toxic person in real life, like real life, now comes on social media and begins to display that toxicity, I believe that there are people who can call that person to order. But unfortunately also we have people who tend to hail toxicity, like they just hail toxic people, like they say bad boys and this and that. It will not help that individual. Okay, so if you're coming on social media, try as much as possible to be open-minded, teachable, and you know, be open to corrections, and see and also know that while you may get away with it easily in real life, because you cannot reach as many people as possible. But on social media, your toxic nature can be seen by 5,000 people immediately. Compare 5,000 people on social media who now know you as a toxic person to just five people in real life that know you as a toxic person. The damage of your image is done more on social media than in real life. So yes, social media is a very powerful tool in building communities. And in these communities, you have the bad communities, you have the good communities, and these bad communities and good communities are made up of people that are like you and me. Okay, so it is very important that when you are on social media, try as much as possible to adjust if you have a bad character. And if you have a good character, just constantly push it out there. It will attract people to you, people of like mind. It will also attract people to you who are, let's say, for instance, for people who constantly share their stories. There are people who are struggling, maybe with infertility, people are struggling with their faith in terms of religion, people who are doing this, people are doing that, depending on your own interest and how you find yourself leaning towards or whatever interests you. You see those kind of people coming to you, and you see also people who have also passed that stage get attracted to you to also support you, so that even while you are giving out, you're also receiving. So it's a win-win case if you're able to manage social media. So yes, social media to me is a very, very, very powerful tool when it comes to building communities, irrespective of the sector, irrespective of the people, yeah, irrespective of the sector, because you have more reach on social media. It is easier to reach 5,000 people organically on social media than to reach 5,000 people outside, like in real life, yeah. So that's basically.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Nina, I'm going to ask you the very final question. All right. I know that you have been building audience on social media, because if we don't build audience, who's going to buy from us as business people? All over the world, all the big business people that we know, all the big business brands, they are in the business of building an audience that buys from them. And I know that you have been doing that on social media. Let us in into a few of your strategies, maybe two, three strategies that you have been utilizing to build your audience on social media. That beautiful audience that buys from your brand, that buys from the 2K shop, that buys from the OBDA brand. Please go ahead and share with us as honestly and as practically as you can.
Okay, so I'm going to be as very honest and as transparent and realistic as possible. Building a buying crowd on social media. Number one for me, what has worked is being myself. And in being myself, it includes me. It includes me being a transparent person. It includes me being a person people that someone people can trust because of one or two dealings with me. And then also I tend to enjoy goodwill from people. Like for instance, now I'm on this platform and I'm reaching out to a lot of people. It's goodwill for me. Okay, so I've enjoyed this here and there, from a couple of people, and that's also helped me in building my visibility and building my audience. Okay. Then secondly, in terms of business, is that especially for a 2K shop, the truth is I haven't actually done much in terms of advertising. This is me being very honest. Apart from doing influencer marketing that I haven't even spent like 100,000 on. Just the fact that I'm able to offer this watch for 2,950 already attracts people to me, already attracts people to the brand. I'm able to sell, for instance, I'm able to sell this dress for 2,950. We actually sell for 2,950. People see it and it's unbelievable. And then you have people asking, is it real? Is it I want to know, I want to find out, is it real? So just the fact that I run 2K shop, that alone has been able to give me audience because people are they cannot believe it. And that's one of the things you said at the beginning. People cannot believe it. So they come close, they want to find out if it's true, and then it's actually true. Then they buy once and then they buy again. We actually have so far like more than 95% retainment in terms of return customers. Okay, so that's it for my business. I'm not going to lie, I haven't run any Facebook ad, I haven't run any Instagram ad. Remember last year I said that in less than 6 weeks we had already exceeded our target for the year 2022. What I enjoyed was just goodwill without even running ads, and the fact that I was offering something that people could not believe. So things that normally they'll buy for, let's say, 10,000 naira, the 2K shop is offering them for 2,950, 2,000 naira. It's unbelievable. So that's one of the things that's helped me. And then I think these are just the two basic things. These are just the two basic things that has helped me in building my audience. These are the two basic things that has helped me in building my audience. And then also the people that I aligned with, and when I'm commenting on their post or trying to share my own opinion, I'm as objective and as packaged and arranged as possible. So these are just basic things that there's really not. I don't think I've done anything extraordinary to really build my audience. So I think this is just it. This is just it. So even my political stand has also endeared more people to me. So you have people from people in diaspora reaching out to me, buying because they believe that I'm supporting something nice, something good. So they believe, oh, okay, she's also a progressive person. I want to do business with her. So I think this is just what has worked for me as a person. I don't think I've done anything extraordinary.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Anna, for this conversation. I don't see any question in the comment section. Okay. Oh yeah. So I think I don't know why. Okay, so I have Oluwa Toba says top notch so far. I've truly learned a lot of things. Religion has helped over several things. This is a breakthrough. I'm limiting myself indeed. Thank you so much. And Sid Young saying, I like how you're expressing this with so much emotion. Everybody can relate. Well done, man. Lydia K, who's my lawyer, my personal lawyer, says, thank you, Nena Norma, for this. And a lot of other individuals echoing, it's foolishness to be shameful of what is gainful. Amazing. So much. I don't think there are questions for you. Thank you, Nana. All right, so it's been an amazing session with you. I truly enjoyed having this conversation with
Thank
you,
you.
and to think of the fact that we didn't really do all the formal exchange before you accepted. Just last night, I just said in my head, maybe let me post this and see who can take the chance. I think I will have to host maybe four people at the same time, all of us on the screen. But I decided to do this with you, and then to be a special session where other individuals can be on the screen and everybody sharing their own experience. But thank you so much, Nana, for
Thank you
with
so much for
this
having me.
doing this with me, and I pray that you do exceedingly well in your businesses, in the ones that you're stepping up, and the ones that you're going to be setting up in the future. All right. God bless you and have a beautiful day from me here in the city of Port Harcourt to you in Lagos and to
Thank you.
everyone who joined us during this session, wherever you are tuning in from. God bless you. And I do hope that you take all the things that we shared during this session, put them in your business, and experience the greatness that you truly desire. God
Amen.
bless you
Thank
and have a
you.
beautiful day.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.